Hello, and welcome back to our Squad Leader tutorial series. This is going to be the third and final installment in our close combat videos, and it will show how to use vehicles in close combat. We're not teaching tactics, but showing how certain things work. With that in mind, we're going to show how to attack a defended position with a combined armor and infantry force. Now, this is not the only way to do it, but it will show one of the most common tactics, vehicle bypass. This is the situation. The game is winding down between the Russians and the Axis player. The Axis player has to get by this Russian machine gun position to get into the victory locations located in the back. It is the German player's turn. The German player has the tank shown along with the infantry. He decides not to prep fire and go directly to movement. He's going to move the tank first. Option 1. He can attempt to overrun the infantry in the house. He would have to start the tank for 1, move into the next text for 2, and then conduct the overrun into the house. The overrun would cost 1/4 of the tank's movement. To get into the house would cost an additional 1/2 of the tank's movement. It would then have to roll for bog, hopefully not falling to the basement by avoiding rolling a colored 6 on the bog check, and then an excessive speed breakdown check. And then the attack would be on the 16 column with a +2 DRM for the wooden house. Check out our overrun video to see how we got 16 for the attack value of the tank. Needless to say, a lot of bad things can happen and the tank might not get the job done. Option 2. He could start the tank for 1, enter the next hex for 2, stop in that hex, and fire at the house with his machine guns and the main gun. The end results would be an IFT attack on the 8 column for the machine guns with a +2 DRM for the house, and he would hit the infantry inside the house on a main armament roll of 3 or less, assuming he delayed enough to get the minimum movement penalties, and then stop his move there. If he did this, he might as well have prep fired the tank, but that is just an opinion. Option 3. He could start the tank for 1, move into the next hex for 2. If he chose to, he could fire at the infantry like he did in option 2, start the tank again, and then go into bypass and stop the tank. Now the Russian infantry can only fire at the tank, and in theory, this gives the German infantry free rein to go by the house and get into the back of the board where the victory location is located. Now the tank has done its job, but is at risk. If the tank is destroyed by the infantry, then the German squads don't have a clear path to the back without getting shot at. The Russians would be marked by a first fire counter, but they could still fire in subsequent first fire. The Russian infantry would use close combat reaction fire against the tank with the following modifiers. The squad's close combat value starts at a 5. They get the street fighting bonus from -1 DRM to the attack roll. They will destroy the tank on a 5 or less and immobilize it on a 6. Not too shabby. If they do not hurt the tank, they would be stuck in close combat against the tank and could not leave the hex until the tank was no longer there. You are getting the most effect against the infantry at the most risk for your tank. Option 4 is a little more middle of the road with regards to risk to the tank and effect on the infantry. The tank could start for 1, enter the next hex for 2, delay in that hex until it only has 3 movement point left. This could include firing into the hex, etc. Then start the tank for 1 MP and then bypass the house containing the infantry for 2 more MP. The tank is now in bypass, but it is in motion. This forces the infantry to only fire at the tank now, but they are not locked in close combat with the tank, so the next movement phase they could move, or if they broke somehow, they could route away in the upcoming route phase. If they had some kind of anti-tank capacity like a Piat or something, they could fire it during the next prep fire phase. In return, the tank receives the +2 DRM for being in motion. That coupled with the street fighting modifier of -1, the total DRM for this close combat attack by the infantry is +1. So that the squad would immobilize the tank on a 4, and the tank would be destroyed on a 3 or less during the close combat reaction fire of the infantry. This concludes vehicle bypass and close combat. If you liked this video and found it useful, like us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. If you have any suggestions on future topics, contact me at bob@table-top-war-games.com or leave a comment below. For the latest news in the world of gaming, check out our website at www.table-top-war-games.com. And for the latest news on Advanced Squad Leader, check out www.theadvancedsquadleaderexperience.com. For the latest arrivals and events at our store, check out our J&D Hobbies Facebook page. And like always, thanks for watching, and take care.